آریانا افغانستان یگانه شبکه تلویزیونی ملی افغانها در خارج از کشور.
This is the ultimate question for you. Are you ready to be your own boss and achieve your dreams? Liberty Business Advisors of San Francisco, Inc. is a full-service business consulting and brokerage firm specializing in small to medium-sized businesses. At Liberty Business Advisors, our professionals include lawyers, accountants, realtors who have years of experience in selling and marketing business opportunities. Call Business Advisors for free consultation if you're thinking about selling or planning buying a new business. Call us at 925-932-2450. Visit us on our website, lbaweb.com, or follow us on Facebook. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show Business Advisors 101. Today is May 26th, 2014.
Good evening. Tonight's show we have Mr. Robert Lavasani, which he's a great experienced broker with Liberty Business Advisors. And we also have Mr. Jeff Butler with New America, which he's going to talk about how to start new businesses. And we also have a clip from a grand opening that we went with Fletcher Jones, they had the grand opening for Porsche.
Great. Well, the first thing that we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get it into the segment, Market Watch, Money Watch segment. Last week the stock market was pretty much kind of like it seemed like it's pretty much exhausted. Mm-hmm. We talked about it, and because usually during the month of summertime, trading volume decreases in Wall Street because most traders go on vacation. Everybody's thinking about summer vacation, and even in Europe, because as you know, in Europe people actually get about 5 to 6 weeks of vacation. So generally speaking, the market kind of like levels off and it goes kind of sideways usually during summertime, and it picks off. The market kind of picks up right after Labor Day weekend. So right now the market is kind of like again in that zigzag kind of thing. It goes up and then it goes down. It goes up and goes down. So that's where we are. So that's basically is with the market update, you know.
When you give me the segment, the only thing I could see was Russia, China, and $4 billion. What is that?
$400 billion. Yeah, you missed the 2 zeros. Yes, actually, all of the thing is like Russia and China just as of last week they signed a landmark deal for $400 billion. China basically became Russia's second natural gas market. So this is huge. This is great for China also because what that means is like going forward they're going to get natural gas at about 25 to 40% below the current market value. And so it's also interesting because it's going to make it hard for American and European energy companies selling natural gas at premium because they have a stake in the Asian market right now. So when you bring in the China and the Russian pact, so it's going to make it much harder for the likes of Chevron and Shell, who are so used to selling natural gas at a premium. Ouch. So it's a 400 billion pact, but they're saying this is just because Russia is under a lot of pressure from the West and the United States because of the Ukraine situation. So Russia is kind of rebelling, and they're saying, okay, you want to be tough with us? Okay, I'm going to go and talk to China.
Let's do some business.
Yeah. So, and then quickly, I'd like to give an update. As we know, a few years ago, we had a major crisis in the Middle East. So Mr. Hosni Mubarak, the ex-Egyptian leader, was convicted for 3 years. And he's going to be in prison for embezzlement, and his sons were also sentenced for 4 years because of that embezzlement situation.
Wow. Well, another thing that really caught my attention was about Afghan refugees in Iran, and this was on a very happy news right here. I know you have more details about it, but...
Yeah, as we know, most of our viewers know, we have millions of refugees in Pakistan, in Iran, and unfortunately the situation in Iran is not, we always hear these stories about Afghan refugees being treated and mistreated unfairly. But anyways, this is something that actually was on Wall Street Journal, and it was cited, it was in an article from May 15 that basically said that Afghan lawmakers have condemned Iran's exploitation of Afghan refugees being sent to Syria. So basically what the allegation is, the charges are that the Iranians are sending the poor Afghans to fight a war in Syria. In return, they're getting $500 a month. They get the Iranian residency, and also their children are supposed to, be registered in school. So, but the Iranian officials have declined, basically, said this accusation is all fabricated. It's not true. But it just shows that when you're a poor and a refugee, there's reason to be exploited.
So you have to pay for it.
Yeah. So basically, this was something that caught the world's eyes, and I guess now the United Nations and the Afghans are like putting pressure on Iran to look into this matter.
Put a stop and for.
Yes.
Well, another topic that was interesting that involves me, it's about where do internet users spend most of their time. And based on the research that Barmal has found, social networking is each person spends how many minutes a day on Facebook, Twitter, Google, or even Instagram. That involves me. So
that's about
you
37
spend about
minutes.
37 minutes per day, which is quite a bit. I think I'm guilty of that.
You're above the average, right? You're what, about 2-3 hours? Probably more than that.
Probably.
Yeah.
I drive quite a bit, so while I'm driving, I know you shouldn't, use your phone, but I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So email, which comes second, which I think it should be first. Email 29 minutes a day. And online videos, which comes third, would be 23 minutes. Not so bad.
Yes.
And internet is 23 minutes. And the following online games, 19. It has decreased. I thought a lot of people play games, so.
Yeah. So basically it just shows that and then you have also blogging and online radio where people spend about 8 minutes a day. And then, but this was very interesting that only people spend about 5 minutes a day going to online newspaper sites and about 3 minutes a day for online magazines.
Well, if you think about it, when you Google something, you really don't go, like, as we spoke about it last time when we had the Webmasters LLC, most people make their choices on the first page of Google. So when you Google something really quick, you make your choice. That's why you don't spend so much time on it.
Sure.
So you like to be on the first page of Google.
Yeah, sure. If you have a business or something, you always be on the top.
Business, you want to be,
recognized.
Pages.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So let's go let's talk about passwords. We know like passwords are so key to doing anything online, basically. Whether it's your banking, whether you go to social media, Facebook, everything requires a password. So did you know that actually the first password was created about 50 years ago by a gentleman that worked at the MIT. His name was Fernando Corbato. I hope I said his last name correctly. But anyway, so that's interesting. So the first password.
Well, a lot of companies nowadays, even if you do have password, even I advise that you should change it very often because it's so easy to find passwords.
Yeah.
But that was good information.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because but the key, the thing about this, why it's important, because password is still relevant when it comes to what we're doing today, but it has flaws and it has security issues, especially with hackers and stuff like that. And the key is a lot of technology. A lot of companies are pushing for new technologies, which includes fingerprinting, probably eye scanners and stuff like that. But also, as you know, Apple with their new iPhones, they have the fingerprint unlocking features, and as well as PayPal and Google are also testing this new technology. So the question is, will internet users embrace the new technology because it is a little bit sophisticated versus what they're used to, which is passwords?
Yeah, it's just a matter that you get used to something, but I'm sure they'll get used to that.
Okay. Well, we have one more item that's kind of important that I discovered. And so, Olive, do you know what is the most common age in the U.S. as of 2013?
I don't, but what I see here is 22-year-old to 37?
No. So what that means is like it's 22-year-old are the most common age in the United States as of 2013. 37 is the median age. A median age means basically when you look at all the population, the whole thing, spectrum, then when you take the average sort of thing, then 37 kind of stands out. But basically, majority of the population now tends to be more towards the young side, which is 22, and 14% of the population is over the age of 65. Something that me and you, we don't have to worry for the time being. But it's coming.
It's coming.
But just to kind of speak quickly, in the 1930s, the most common age was 8. In 1950s, it was 3. In 1970, it was 10. In 1990, it was 29. But now let's think about the future, 2030.
Yeah.
Guess what's going to happen?
What's going to happen?
Well, 20% of the population is going to be over the age of 65, and the most common age is going to be 39, and the median age is going to be 39 also. So what that means?
So in 2030, we're going to be 39.
Well, yeah, we're going backwards, right? So, but what that says, which is important, that the population of the U.S. based on this projection is going to get much older, and the most important question is, well, is there going to be enough money in Social Security to pay those individuals? Plus, is the retirement age going to go higher? Because right now we're at 67.
Probably at 72.
Maybe, yes. And so that's basically, and also the key is, like, as the population gets older, like Japan is facing the same crisis right now, because Japan has one of the oldest population in the world. So they're having a hard time finding young people to fill certain positions. So this is going to be the question: is there going to be enough people to fill certain roles, because the population itself is getting older. So basically, that's what the 2030 is going to look like in the U.S. So, anyways. So this is, we finished our kind of like Money Watch business headline and news headline. So we're going to actually take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to actually talk to Mr. Robert Lavasani. He's a broker for Liberty Business Advisors of San Francisco. And so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Thank you. This is the ultimate question for you. Are you ready to be your own boss and achieve your dreams? Liberty Business Advisors of San Francisco, Inc. is a full-service business consulting and brokerage firm specializing in small to medium-sized businesses. At Liberty Business Advisors, our professionals include lawyers, accountants, realtors who have years of experience in selling and marketing business opportunities. Call Business Advisors for free consultation if you're thinking about selling or planning buying a new business. Call us at 925-932-2450. Visit us on our website, lbaweb.com, or follow us on Facebook. Fletcher Jones Motor Cars, authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer of Fremont. Fletcher Jones Motor Cars of Fremont is proud to serve Fremont with quality Mercedes-Benz vehicles. With many models, we have something for every taste and need. For 2 years in a row, rated as the #1 Mercedes-Benz dealer. Contact Rahman Wahab at 510-279-7014. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Business Advisors 101. We're into the second segment of the show. So in this segment, we have actually Mr. Robert Lavasani, a gentleman that actually is a broker for Liberty Business Advisors. So we're very delighted to have him finally on the show. Good evening, Mr. Lavasani.
Good evening, sir.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
We know that Mr. Lavasani was supposed to be doing a show with us a few weeks ago, but unfortunately we had some technical difficulties and we lost the show, and Mr. Lavasani was very, you went home, you weren't happy. You said you want a refund. I'm just kidding. But anyway, Mr. Lavasani, welcome to the show. If you don't mind, if you can tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, about your professional background, and how long you've been in the States.
My name is Robert Lavasani, and I had been in industry for 38 years, and I had been around the Bay Area for 48 years. And
you don't look that old, Mr. Lavasani. That's a
no,
very
you
long
don't add
time
up
you've been in
48
it.
plus 38.
Yes. So, Mr. Lavasani, and how long? Where did you go to school? Here in States or in Iran?
No, basically I was in Iran going to school, and I came here and I did 4 years college and university together. Studied business international, and after that I follow up with real estate.
Okay. Go
ahead. How long have you been a broker with Liberty Business Advisors?
I had been with the Liberty Business Advisors of San Francisco for 8 years now.
That's quite some time.
Yes. Yes.
What made you really choose to become a broker, or even to be working in real estate?
Well, it's most of the Iranian people, or even foreign people, when they come to this country, it's really is a land of opportunity here, and they can do so many things. And when I came here, all my goal was to have my own business. And prior to that real estate business, I had 3 or 4 different kind of businesses that it took me for 27 years to hold all this. The only thing that I kept longer, it was a real estate license, that is 38 years. And I thought around years ago that the real estate is always good to have the activities regarding the residential or businesses, and that's the reason I stay in real estate so long.
Obviously, it sounds like you're very experienced as a broker. What kept you so successful at what you're doing all these years?
Well, it's in any business that you look, first of all, you have to be honest with the people, integrity, and you have to give the service to people right. You have to be them. You have to follow up anything they ask, because your business is your service. If they like it, they follow you, and that's the reason you can stay
Obviously,
in
you build
business.
that trust with your clients, and you probably get a lot of referrals from them.
Exactly, like any other businesses,
What are some of the mistakes that most brokers do that that they either lose their license, or as few years ago that in that department there was a lot of faults? What are some of the big mistakes that they've done or they do?
Well, mainly is I would say they get greedy, and because of that they do something wrong what is not by law, and they get in trouble. And unfortunately, up to this date, my license is clear, and I always was watching that to keep it that way too.
So we should tell our brokers, if you're looking for a broker, you know who to contact. And do we have Mr. Lavasani's information on the bottom? Yes, we do.
Yes,
we have
his information is there.
His phone number, his email?
Yes, Mr. Lavasani is as I said, he's a broker for Liberty Business Advisors, and his number is 925-923-2450, and that's actually the general number at Liberty Business Advisors. And then also they can go to the website www.lbaweb.com. Mr. Lavasani, one of the questions I forgot to ask you in the beginning, as a successful Iranian American, why do you think so many people from the Persian or Iranian community are so successful business owners? And it seems like a lot of them are small business owners, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, like as I said, especially most of the Iranian that when they leave the country, of course, I left the country during a Shah period, and my goal was to have my own business. And when you set up your goal and you have a mindset on that and just keep on going, follow up, the success is yours. And I remember after 1 year I was in this country that I was walking on Olive Street to find the businesses. And until one day, it was in San Leandro, I saw a young man was sitting in a wheelchair and right front the gas station. And I asked him, do you know who owns this gas station? He said, yes, I am the owner. And I said, so what happened? He said, I had a car accident and I want to sell my businesses because I cannot operate that. That was the key for success for me.
So you saw an opportunity where you felt like,
opportunity there, and I did go and started, and from there...
The rest is history.
Everything was
So you said you've been with Liberty Business Advisors for the last 7 years. And why do you think Liberty Business Advisors has stayed so long in the business, and why? I mean, what is their success story? I mean, why are they so successful and with a good reputation?
Well, okay, like as I said, integrity, and fortunately we have the CEO of the Business Advisors of San Francisco, Mr. Matt Sadati, is one of the businessmen that I've seen in my life that is very, very hard worker, and is always make sure that everything is in order and every deals and it going on. It's right, because he had been in broker business for God knows 30 some years himself, and he knows ups and downs, and he always is a guideline for me and for the agents, and that's the reason we stay in the business with them.
Well, that's good to know. If somebody wants to go into the real estate business, we know it's a tough business, but there's the residential side and there's the business side of it. Do you have any advice for them?
Well, it depends what they want to do. Some people, they come and say, okay, we go to this business, real estate, and they come and 2 or 3 weeks or 3 months, 4 months, and then they decided, oh, this is not my line. They have to make their mind that what do you want to do and how far do they want to go. And again, it depends to the agent. They want to sell the business, welcome. But the difference between business and residential is the business is somehow is simpler and easier than residential. And they make the money. If they want to make the money, my opinion is, if they want to make the money, they can do it if they set up their mind and just follow up and do it. Because in any business, like for instance, they come and they want to work part-time. Okay. First of all, part-time working is very hard to adjust with your full-time.
Yes.
Number one. And number two, when you want to do the business, for instance, like if you want to go, not you, but anybody else, they want to go have a heart surgery and they go look around to find out who's doing good, do they go for the part-time surgeon? I don't think so.
I don't think so. That's an important question to ask.
Yeah. They go after, the people that they have experience and they had been in business so long that their success is right there. And plus, the people that they come and ask for being agent or they want to do this job and stuff, it depends to them. all it depends to them. If they want to really walk out from their comfort zone and do extra work, is they can feel the success. Is any business, any job that you do, you have to work hard. And really, really, I admire Mr. Sadati that still after all these years, I've seen him, he always works hard, extra hours. He doesn't leave the office until the job's done and leave. That's why I admire.
Yeah, that shows commitment and it shows discipline, you know, about and taking your profession at the highest level and also. And it's not an easy job because easy business because it is saturated, and you really have to work hard to look for new clients and also to recruit new agents because at the end of the day, you know, you're always looking for agents, and I know that Liberty Business Advisors is looking to hire new agents as well, or bring in existing agents that want to switch over from residential to business.
That's true, but you know. Like, you know, if any business or any job that you have, for first few months it takes until you get familiar and, you know, you get out of your comfort zone and get into it. After that, it makes more, you know, easier, and you enjoy doing that because you feel that you did something great for yourself.
Well, with any kind of business, you just have to be patient, and you will get, you know, to the level where, like you said, depends where your goal is, how far you want to get. You just have to be patient.
So, Mr. Lavasani, so anyways, do you have any closing remark for our viewers? And you know, before we appreciate the fact that I know last time you came all the way to be part of the show, but unfortunately we couldn't do the interview.
That's okay. It was my pleasure. I just want to thank you for audience that they were watching us, and then we at the Liberty Business Advisors of San Francisco, we always ready to have our best service for our own customers and clients. Please don't hesitate. If you need any information, regardless businesses, call us. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Lavasani. We appreciate your time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break, and then after the break, we're going to have actually Mr. Jeff Butler. He's director for New America, and basically, it's a nonprofit organization working for the community, and mainly their focus is on small business. So, we're going to actually, after this break, we're going to come and talk to Mr. Butler about New America and its initiative towards the community. Thank you. This is the ultimate question for you. Are you ready to be your own boss and achieve your dreams? Liberty Business Advisors of San Francisco, Inc. is a full-service business consulting and brokerage firm specializing in small to medium-sized businesses. At Liberty Business Advisors, our professionals include lawyers, accountants, realtors who have years of experience in selling and marketing business opportunities. Call Business Advisors for free consultation if you're thinking about selling or planning buying a new business. Call us at 925-932-2450. Visit us on our website, lbaweb.com, or follow us on Facebook. Fletcher Jones Motor Cars, authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer of Fremont. Fletcher Jones Motor Cars of Fremont is proud to serve Fremont with quality Mercedes-Benz vehicles. With many models, we have something for every taste and need. For 2 years in a row, rated as the #1 Mercedes-Benz dealer. Contact Rahman Wahab at 510-279-7014. everyone. So we're into the third segment.
And we have Mr. Jeff Butler with us. Welcome, Mr. Jeff.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
We're very happy to have you here. And Mr. Jeff is going to talk about, we are going to ask him some questions about how to start new businesses and what are the roles that they have in the community and what are they hoping. Mr. Jeff, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, my name is Jeff Butler, and I'm the Women's Business Center Director for New America Community Corporation. We work with men and women, but we have a women's business center to make sure that women entrepreneurs also get the support and resources that they need, because traditionally they've been kind of disadvantaged. So we work with men and women, but my particular role is the Women's Business Center Director. And New America is a nonprofit organization, and we have a comprehensive long-term program to help people start and grow their own small businesses. And so that's a mix of training and counseling and also access to capital to finance their business.
And that's actually where on one of their projects that they're involved with the Afghan Coalition, that's where I met Mr. Jeff. And he decided to work with us, and we thought this would be actually very beneficial for the community to learn more about how it's possible for women especially to start their businesses. So do you want to describe a little bit about the projects that you're working on?
Okay. We have a version of our program that we are collaborating with the Afghan Coalition on, and specifically that is offering a series of training classes in the fundamentals of business and business planning, especially how it works in this country. And then each person gets assigned a mentor or a business counselor to work with them individually to help put their plans into action. And then, as I mentioned earlier, also a component of the program is access to capital for their business, because very often businesses obviously need some capital or some financing to get started, but it's very difficult for a new or small business to convince a lender to provide that capital. So we have built into the program a piece where they have a much easier access to financing for their business, and we help them through that as well. So as you mentioned, we're partnering with the Afghan Coalition in particular to help the Afghan community achieve their goals of starting or growing small businesses. And so there are many talented, energetic, enterprising folks in the Afghan community, and we want to help them to realize their goals by bringing our program to that community.
And actually, a couple of the classes that me and Barmal, we actually went to the classes.
And we failed. We got kicked out of the class because Olive was not paying attention.
It was very interesting.
Or we'll give you one more shot.
Are you sure?
I'll re-enroll. But the thing was it was very interesting, because even if you have, they help you in so many ways. Even if you have bad credit, or if you want to just build your credit, they'll help you on that as well. I mean, the couple of classes that we went, we should have followed through.
Yeah.
But it was very good class. It was very interesting.
Shame on us.
Shame on us. And if you have even an idea to open a new business and you just don't know where to start, you might want to contact Mr. Jeff Butler, and his information is on the bottom of the page as well.
So Jeff, so we have a few other questions for you.
Sure.
Did you actually? How long has New America been in existence?
Going on 14 years now.
14 years. And this was based on the idea of that there was a need in the communities in terms of especially minorities, where they're always sort of like, as we know, especially with the Afghan community, we're looking at it, somehow they're underserved. Is that basically the theme of the organization?
Yes, very much. We work with anybody and everybody, but we have a particular focus on first-generation immigrant communities, because it's a lot of work. I mean, having a small business is can be a very rewarding thing, both literally and figuratively, but it's a lot of work. And so we want to help people to do that, because that helps not only the individuals, but small business has always been a primary driver of local economies, and it's just a very good thing all around. But it is a lot of work, and people who are new to this country face additional challenges that many other people don't face, and not just language, but being unfamiliar with the way certain things work in this country, either with business or otherwise, not having established credit histories, not having credentials that are recognized in this country, even if they are very qualified people, which basically they are. So we have a program, we've created a program that takes you through the fundamentals of starting and growing a business, and provides kind of wraparound support for helping you to do that, but also builds in additional aspects to take into account the additional challenges that people who are new to this country face.
Sure. And so the key is, I guess from what I'm reading, the key about your organization is that the fact they're like a bridge for the community in terms of, let's say if I want to start a small business, but I have no idea in terms of how to get my business license, why should I get a business license, what other things that I need to consider, and then you guys come in as like mentors and kind of like help in the process.
Exactly. So a lot of times one of the biggest challenges that people face in starting a business is like, basically, how do I do it, or where do I go to get the resources that I need, that kind of thing. And it's not that the resources don't exist, it's literally how do I find them out, how do I make use of them. And so that's, in a nutshell, that's actually very well put, in a nutshell, what we do. So we provide education, counseling, and how business works in general, but also very much it's about outlining the resources that are available to you and as an entrepreneur, and helping you to connect with those resources. So, for example, do I need a business license? Well, the answer is yes. Okay, well, how does that work? Where do I go to get that? How do I do that? If I need financing for my business, where are some places that I can look? How do I register my name for my business? How do I get legal assistance for my business at low cost, if that's what I need to do, which at some point you probably will, and on and on and on. So the people in the program still need to do the work. They're business people and all of that, but we're there to help guide them, orient them, support them in the work that they need to do.
And also on some of the few classes that I went, it was good to know, not once you succeed with your business, they will still help guide you go to the next level. That's what I understood, right? You help them start this business, but then let's say your business is successful and you're ready to go to the next step, they'll guide you how to get to the next step, right?
Oh, yeah. Onward and upward. Don't stop now. That's one of the key, there are kind of two key features of our program. One is that it's a comprehensive program. So what I mean by that is that we provide training, counseling, and access to capital. So it's like a complete package. And the second thing is along the lines of what you were just saying, that it's a long-term program, because it takes a while. We want to be with people for the long term and to help set them up for success for the long term. So it's 3 years of support in the areas that I mentioned to make sure that people not only start successfully but grow and are on a path to continue growth for the long term.
Well, the 3 years is a fair amount of years to help somebody start with a new business, even from baby steps, as we were saying, where to get licensed and where to get any kind of funding, help.
That's important.
Yeah, and we have people who are, still at the beginning stage, and we have people, like I said, we've been around for, going on 14 years now, and we have people who have grown their business to, thousands and thousands of dollars of annual revenue. So, and we say 3 years, but we have some folks who are still in touch with us after 14 years.
Wow, that's good to know.
So how do you get funding for your organization?
Well, we're a nonprofit organization, which means that we basically get grants from different sources to do the work that we do. And so the three main sources are, generally speaking, government, business, for-profit businesses, and private foundations. And by for-profit businesses, I mean that they usually have some sort of charitable or community-oriented arm where they fund initiatives like ours. And so we have to write proposals to get the funding for the work that we do, and it's a competitive process. They don't just give us the money. There's competition for the funding that they give. So there are other nonprofits and other organizations that are also writing proposals, and then if we're fortunate enough, a particular organization or government entity will like what we have to say and say, okay, yes, we'll give you money to do that, to do these training programs and this counseling and providing access to capital for businesses and so forth. And then obviously we have to achieve the goals that we set, do the things that we said we would do in order to continue getting funding and to get funding in the future. But it's basically grants from different sources.
What are some of the major hurdles, I guess, for an organization like yourself? Because sometimes it's difficult to get the message out to the community. So I know when our viewers are watching the show, they probably had never heard of A New America, majority of them. And so so what are the major hurdles for an organization like yourself, who has a great message and a great mission statement in terms of what you guys are trying to achieve? So how do you get your message out to the community?
Well, it is a challenge to get the message out sometimes because there's not usually, with the exception of shows like this.
Yes. There's Business Advisors 101. Don't leave.
There very often are not specific places that everybody knows, oh, I go there to get information about business or business support services, for example. And so this is great. Thank you very much for having us on here.
So you know why I asked you that question? Because I know somehow it's going to come back to this show.
No, but this is truly a very good resource because people know that this show exists, and so if they want to hear about business or resources for helping them start or grow their business, then this is a place that they're likely to think about and tune in. But other than that, there's no natural connection or place, if you will. So what we often do is work with community organizations, community-based organizations like the Afghan Coalition, who are already in touch with the community, both the community in general and particular populations such as the Afghan community. So they not only have the contacts with those communities already, but they also have a level of trust built up with those communities, because even if we get the word out about our program, if people don't know us yet, they still might be a little bit hesitant about, who are these people, and is this really a good idea to be working with them, blah, blah, blah. So when we have the good fortune to be working with a program like this,
then
we make use of it. But otherwise, it's primarily about working with and through other community-based agencies to get the word out.
Jeff, I have a question. Since our show's being watched through United States, what other states do you have New America?
We're only in the Bay Area. We're only in the San Francisco Bay Area in California.
All right. So any organizations that have they're working with the community, they could contact you. And as we experienced ourselves, that we went to one of their classes, they even had translators to translate the class into Farsi.
But you still failed the class, Olive. That's okay. So when it comes to your organization, Jeff, are you looking for volunteers? And what are some of the current projects that you're working on?
Okay. Well, most definitely we are looking for volunteers, and we're looking specifically for people who can work one-on-one with the people in our program to help counsel them on the steps that they need to take to either start or grow their own small business. So if anybody is out there, especially with business experience, but even if you don't have business experience, if you're willing to spend a little bit of your time to work with some of the entrepreneurs in our program to help them get started and or to grow, that would be a great service to the community, because the education and access to capital is good, but where things really get done is when people are working one-on-one with the entrepreneurs to help them put their plans into action. So if you can help at all, or if you know somebody who could help us out, please get in touch with us and or with the Afghan Coalition and let us know. We would love to have you.
And any current projects that you're working on that's very important to your organization?
Well, in addition to the training and the counseling that we're doing with the Afghan Coalition that we're currently doing, there's one particular project that I'd really like to highlight. It's called Fresh Carts. And what that is helping people to start a business selling fresh produce, fresh fruits and vegetables from carts, either stationary or mobile carts in the community. And the idea there is kind of a two-part approach. Number one, to help people start and grow a successful business, but also have that be a business which helps bring healthy foods and access to healthy foods to communities that don't really have that much. So you would be surprised at how many parts of the community are have difficulty getting access to healthy foods and fresh fruits and vegetables in particular. There's a lot of fast food, there's a lot of junk food, there's a lot of that kind of stuff. But sometimes they are kind of food deserts as opposed as goes to healthy foods. So we're trying to address that as well.
This is so interesting that you brought this up, because as our viewers know that when I was even a young boy in Kabul, in this district called Makroyan, actually we used to have individuals that used to bring fruits and vegetables in these carts, and they used to sell it. So they used to come to each buildings, and they used to shout and scream, hey, if you want onions, whatever, this. So it was like so it's a great concept, because you're getting like fresh produce right in somewhere that you can go and get it, and also you're supporting a small business owner or somebody that's actually you're helping the community.
Oh yeah, two birds with one stone, as they say. And people want fresh food and good food. It's just they have trouble getting it in certain places.
And especially if it just passes by your door.
Oh yeah, it's convenience. Yeah,
look at those tomatoes. Look at those.
In Olive's case, well, she's on social media, and then she hears the guy with the fresh produce, and she could just
it would have been more interested if you could find donkeys, because back home they used a lot of animals.
Yes.
That would have been more interesting.
Well, we're just getting started. So
we have to start from somewhere. So Jeff, we have some of your information, but I just want to confirm you. Their information is their website is anewamerica.org. Once again, it's anewamerica.org, and Jeff's direct number is 510-540-7785, extension 301. Once again, it's 510-540-7785, and you can also reach Jeff via email, and that's jeffbutler@newamerica.org. Once again, it's jbutler@newamerica.org. Now, Jeff, we have a couple more questions. By the way, we have a segment that's about 5 minutes long, but what we're going to do is we're going to air that next week, and that way it will be a nice little follow-up, so people can actually see some of the folks that you've helped through. It's a 5-minute clip, and we'll show that on our next week's show. What sort of response have you gotten from the Afghan community, and how committed are you with the community going forward?
Well, we've gotten a very good response so far. Like I said, we have a group of people going through who just completed the first round of training, and so they're very, very engaged.
Actually graduated.
They graduated with honors, right?
Of course, certificates and everything.
Yes.
I missed it. I know once there was the graduation.
We took pictures, so you can see.
Too bad. Olive would have been there.
No, but a very dedicated, energetic, talented, committed group from their side. And like I said, this is just the beginning. The class has ended, but now we're going to connect them with mentors to be working one-on-one to get their businesses launched. And we are definitely very committed to the Afghan community. So we've gotten a good initial response, and we're very definitely committed to working with these folks for the long term. And as I said, not only with this initial group, but we're going to be starting subsequent groups in the whole program as we go along. And the plan is to be working starting new groups for at least a period of 4 years going forward, and working with.
And if you don't mind me asking, do you know when is the next class starts?
We haven't set the exact date yet. It's probably going to be sometime in the fall.
All right. So also, I do have to mention Rona Popal. She's the head of Afghan Coalition. If you need to get in contact with them as well, maybe, I know she said she has a waiting list already. So if you want to be on the waiting list for this class, you could contact Afghan Coalition as well.
And also, that if our viewers could reach us on our general voicemail box, which is 510-470-1404, and they can leave a message. If it's for Jeff, we'll definitely relay the message to Jeff. Jeff, so any closing remarks before we wrap up this segment?
I would say that having your own business is a lot of work, but it can also be a very rewarding endeavor in a lot of ways. And so if you decide that that's what you want to do, you should realize that you don't have to do it alone. There are definitely resources out there to help you, groups, services, programs like ours, and other resources too. So you can, it's much better if you avail yourself of all the resources that you can, get all the advice that you can, get all the support that you can, and go for it. We're here to help you out.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for your time, and we really appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll have you back with some future updates. So once again, thank you so much. And by the way, in our next week's show, we will definitely air the 5-minute clip from New America that shows some of the success stories through this organization. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to say our closing remarks, but we're going to share almost a 5-minute clip from the grand opening of Porsche dealership by Fletcher Jones Motor Cars in Fremont. So we were there and we interviewed a couple of folks, and you're going to see the segment. But anyways, we'll be right back. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is the ultimate question for you. Are you ready to be your own boss and achieve your dreams? Liberty Business Advisors of San Francisco, Inc. is a full-service business consulting and brokerage firm specializing in small to medium-sized businesses. At Liberty Business Advisors, our professionals include lawyers, accountants, realtors who have years of experience in selling and marketing business opportunities. Call Business Advisors for free consultation if you're thinking about selling or planning buying a new business. Call us at 925-932-2450. Visit us on our website, lbaweb.com, or follow us on Facebook. Fletcher Jones Motor Cars, authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer of Fremont. Fletcher Jones Motor Cars of Fremont is proud to serve Fremont with quality Mercedes-Benz vehicles. With many models, we have something for every taste and need. For 2 years in a row, rated as the #1 Mercedes-Benz dealer. Contact Rahman Wahab at 510-279-7014. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Business Advisor 101, and we're in the final segment of the show. Olive, you have a couple of things that you want to talk about?
I just want to say that, I wanted to say thank you to both gentlemen that were our guests tonight here. I'm really happy to have Mr. Jeff in our show because, as a business-minded woman myself, there's a lot of ladies out there, and it's good to know that there's help out there, that if you have any kind of idea, they could help you out. So do contact them or send us an email. We'll somehow put both of you together, and so you could start your business. And also that this weekend I will be heading towards Anaheim. As you keep watching the commercial, that Badakhshan project is still ongoing. Wana Miskinyar has been working hard on this project, and it's a charity mela, and it's at Phoenix Club in Anaheim. Myself, Barmaljan, and also Khaljan Raghab from here, and a bunch of other people were heading that way. So hope to see you all there.
Okay, well, that's good to know. This is this coming Sunday at the Phoenix Club in Anaheim, California. I believe the doors will open at around 1 o'clock, but it's for the Badakhshan ongoing, aid to because of the natural disaster. So that's good to know. Now, as a few days ago, we were there at the because we know Fletcher Jones Motor Cars, sponsored our segments, and as a sponsor of the show, also we appreciate, and especially Mr. Rahman Wahab for helping in terms of helping back, giving back towards the community. But anyways, they invited us to come in
to their Porsche grand opening.
Yeah. So the
new Porsche grand
opening. So they already had the Fletcher Jones Motor Cars or Mercedes-Benz, and they're like one of the top dealerships in the country. But they recently just opened a new dealership, and this is all Porsche. So I know all of you would love to have a Porsche, right?
Absolutely. Who doesn't? But I do have to say, the commercial that you have been watching lately, it's Barmal's voice.
Was it? Oh, I didn't know that. And so I do. Yes, it was actually teamwork. Me, Olive, and Mystical Studios with Mr. Saida Ansari. It was, it was a pleasure working with him, and so it was just team concept. And so, anyways, if we do, if somebody's out there and they wanted to make a commercial for their business or something, they can reach out to us, and we'll see what we can do for them. But anyways, before so we're gonna try to wrap up this tonight's show. And we want to thank you for watching the show. So and we're gonna after we say our goodbyes, you're gonna watch you're gonna see a 4-minute clip that shows the kind of like mixer at the Porsche. Yes, and we interviewed a couple of folks, and then you see some little footages from Olive. Any other thing you want to say?
No, thank you very much. We had a really good time at this show. It was educational, and again, don't forget to contact us if you need anything regarding into New America about businesses.
Sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for watching the show. Good night, and we'll see you next week. And in the meantime, please watch this 4-minute clip. It's about the grand opening of the new Porsche in Fremont. So, thank you. Good night. This is the ultimate question for you. Are you ready to be your own boss and achieve your dreams? Liberty Business Advisors of San Francisco, Inc. is a full-service business consulting and brokerage firm specializing in small to medium-sized businesses. At Liberty Business Advisors, our professionals include lawyers, accountants, realtors who have years of experience in selling and marketing business opportunities. Call Business Advisors for free consultation if you're thinking about selling or planning buying a new business. Call us at 925-932-2450. Visit us on our website, lbaweb.com, or follow us on Facebook. Fletcher Jones Motor Cars, authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer of Fremont. Fletcher Jones Motor Cars of Fremont is proud to serve Fremont with quality Mercedes-Benz vehicles. With many models, we have something for every taste and need. For 2 years in a row, rated as the #1 Mercedes-Benz dealer. Contact Rahman Wahab at 510-279-7014. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Business Advisor TV show. We're here at the Fletcher Jones Motor Cars of Fremont. I'm here with Sean. Good evening, Sean. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. Could you first of all introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yeah, my name is Sean Grafe. I'm a finance manager here for Porsche of Fremont, as well as Mercedes-Benz of Fremont for Fletcher Jones, and been here for 5 years, and it's a great place.
So Sean, could you please tell us what's happening today, this special occasion?
Yeah, today basically we're doing the new launch of the Macan, which is a new Porsche that's coming out. It's basically kind of looks like the Cayenne, but a little bit smaller. A nice range for a lot of people to be in, and what we're doing while we're introducing this vehicle is throwing a big, huge party for everybody to come and hang out and dance and have drinks and some food and just enjoy the time and see what this new vehicle and as well as this new dealership's all about.
So this is a grand opening for Porsche?
Essentially, yeah, it is the grand opening for this, not only this dealership, but it's also the launch for this new Macan as well.
And why is this dealership going to be important for the bottom line of your entity, Fletcher Jones Motor Cars?
Well, there's a few other Porsche dealerships in the in the Bay Area, but this one I would have to say is going to be the biggest one. Okay, it gives the people a lot of credibility when they have their Porsche. They're able to bring it in. They're able to get their services taken care of here, as well as they're able to purchase a new or used pre-owned Porsche with us as well.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome.